Have you ever been around someone who just radiates this almost electric energy? You know, a kind of commanding aura.
Absolutely. Like some people just draw every eye in the room. They seem to vibrate on a different frequency.
Yeah, exactly. Like characters out of some epic story. And often these are the people who, even from a young age, feel this pull towards, well, an early destiny.
It's that rare presence, isn't it? Makes you realize you're seeing something really extraordinary. Someone who doesn't just excel, they redefine everything.
Well, today, we're embarking on a deep dive into one of those singular forces, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Maybe.
But this isn't the highlight reel version you already know. Not just the stats. We're peeling back the layers.
Right.
We're drawing from some really unique sources, actually, including this fascinating, detailed Italian YouTube transcript.
Yeah.
Gives a fresh perspective.
Interesting. So what's the goal here?
Our mission is to uncover the surprising facts, the profound influences, and maybe the lesser-known struggles that shaped him.
Going beyond what he achieved to understand the why.
Exactly. The why behind that unparalleled greatness.
Yeah.
We'll explore the personal journey, the early heartbreaks, the inner fire.
Okay, so prepare to discover a side of MJ maybe you haven't really seen before.
That's the plan. So to really get the roots of that relentless drive, we have to go way back, like earliest days.
Okay. Where are we starting?
January 1963,
Oh.
Brooklyn. His mother, Dolores, is 8 months pregnant with her fourth child.
Right.
And she's still working hard at General Electric. Her doctor had actually warned her, risk of spontaneous abortion, but she kept going.
Wow. That's quite a start, a miraculous beginning for someone like him.
Definitely. The family soon moved back to North Carolina, their roots. But Michael's first days were marked by this surprising fragility.
Fragility? How so?
He had these nosebleeds, apparently really severe, needed days of observation in the hospital.
Huh. Not the image you have of him.
Not at all. And then, very early on, a really profound trauma. He saw a friend drown.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. And it left him profoundly aquaphobic for life. He would only ever shower, never take a bath.
That's a deep scar. You can see how that would stick with someone.
And it seems connected to this conviction he had, even as a kid, that he would die young.
Really? He thought that?
Yeah. His parents were constantly reassuring him, like, no, Michael, just because you had a close call doesn't mean it's your fate.
It's fascinating how these early insecurities play out. You hear about him feeling less loved, or maybe less recognized than his older brother, Larry.
Right. Larry wore number 45.
So Michael chose 23. Exactly half.
Like saying, I'll be half of what you are, but I'll make it count.
And the nicknames, too. Peanut, because of his head shape, apparently.
Yeah, and Red Rabbit because of his ears. Kids can be cruel.
It really makes you pause, doesn't it? This future giant starting out feeling so fragile, so insecure.
Totally. And speaking of unexpected things, he struggled in school. Academically.
I heard about this. He took home economics.
Yeah.
Sewing classes.
Yeah, because he was convinced he'd never learn to wash, iron, or cook otherwise.
But then he got good at it. The cooking part, anyway.
He became a baker, nicknamed Grandma Duck.
No way. Grandma Duck.
Seriously. There's this great story where his principal calls his mom about the cakes he keeps bringing in.
What did she say?
She's like, ma'am, if Michael keeps bringing cakes, we have to grade this. It's disrupting things. And Dolores, quick as anything, replies, ma'am, if Michael brought a cake, he either bought it or made it. And with only $1 in his pocket, it means he made it himself.
Huh. You can just hear her sharp wit protecting her son.
Definitely shows where some of his spirit came from.
Yeah.
And then there's the poignant young love story.
Huh.
Or lack thereof.
Oh, yes. Angela West.
He was totally smitten. Probably trying to sit next to her on the school bus.
But she'd always squeeze in with her friends at the back, avoided him.
Yeah. And apparently it caused him real suffering. Deeply.
It's that classic painful teenage rejection, isn't it? One account even jokes, Mrs. Angela probably regrets it now.
Maybe just a little. But it shows, even legends go through that very human heartbreak.
Yeah.
It shapes you.
And that kind of suffering, maybe it primed him for using other kinds of pain as fuel, like perceived disrespect.
Yes. That seems to be where things really shifted, where the engine ignited.
His first huge disappointment, getting cut from the varsity team. Wilmington, North Carolina.
Devastating for him.
Yeah.
Especially because his friend, Leroy Smith.
Who was taller at the time?
Right. Leroy made the team. Michael didn't. He went home just distraught.
Yeah, apparently went straight to his mom, like, do you see what happened?
And Wilmington itself. North Carolina, former slave state. There's a history there. Some accounts mention how bouncing a ball could get an enslaved person lashed centuries earlier. A strange place for a black icon to emerge, in a way.
But his mother, Dolores, she had the wisdom, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. Her words were apparently, Michael, you just have to wait for your moment. So calming, so wise.
And that was the turning point. He took that rejection, that slight,
And turned it into fuel. He started writing it all down, every perceived indignity.
in a notebook. It wasn't just remembering, it was like ritualistic, internalizing it, using it to drive himself.
He even started checking into hotels as Leroy Smith.
Yeah. As this constant private reminder of that first big rejection, it's like this disciplined emotional alchemy, turning negativity into action.
That's a great way to put it. He adopted his rival's name to embody the challenge.
Well,
Okay, so let's talk mentors. There was this guy, Lemons.
Caroline Opper, known as Lemons, described as a clown prince of basketball from that same Carolina tradition, a strong black man known for his amazing hook shot.
A showman.
Totally. An unofficial ambassador, a master technician, could play thousands of games, exhibitions that were like theater. He showed Michael that sublime control, that technique, that self-expression, a key influence.
Deep roots in the game. And then, of course, Dean Smith at UNC.
Coach Smith. And let's clear this up, the myth that Smith cut Michael.
It's not true, right?
Absolutely not. Smith saw the potential. He intentionally put him on junior varsity first, told him, wait a year, play with the second team, refine your game left hand, court vision, everything. He wanted him playing with the ball, not just being a big man.
Smart development. And Michael's reaction later at the Hall of Fame induction.
Oh, yeah. Classic MJ Sharp wit, almost cutting, brings Smith on stage, thousands watching, and says, this is the man who cut me.
The crowd goes wild, probably.
But then Michael stops them, gets emotional, acknowledges Smith as a profound teacher. Said Smith taught him how to be a man, not just basketball.
That's powerful. And Smith had that quirky rule too, right? The soda for technicals.
Yeah. Get a technical foul, you have to drink a soda Smith provided at the next practice. Michael hated being seen suffering, apparently, so his technicals just plummeted.
Whatever works. Okay, so all these lessons, this drive, it converges on the college stage. His mom had a dream.
Dolores dreamt Michael would make the winning shot in the NCAA championship.
And she told him.
She did. And Michael, who really believed in the power of dreams, internalized it. Told himself, I'm taking the last shot, I'm making it. Mom, I'm winning this for Carolina.
That she just said.
Michael, pray that it happens.
Wow. And then the final against Georgetown.
Final possession. Michael's on the left corner. He'd mentally prepared. Defense rotates. He sinks it. Flawless shot.
Vindication. Especially after that Sports Illustrated photo where they left him out of the play diagram.
Exactly. Showed them they were wrong. It was that early proof of his self-belief, his clutch ability. It wasn't just talent. It was like preemptive psychological victory. He won it in his head first.
Okay, so college conquered. Now the global stage, the NBA trials. He leaves UNC early for the '84 Olympics in LA.
Right. Under Bobby Knight, intense coach.
And that team was stacked, right?
Yeah.
Barkley, Stockton, they got cut.
They did, which tells you how competitive it was. But Michael flourished, averaging 17 points, almost easily, it seemed.
And he had this obsession with details. Even then, the white jersey story.
Oh, yeah. Before the final against Spain, team only had blue jerseys. He had to have white.
So what'd he do?
3 hours before the game, calls from the hotel, gets a plane to fly another white jersey to the Olympic Village.
You're kidding. A plane.
That's the story, shows that focus. He also wrote Remember Munich on a note,
Referencing the '72 controversy.
using it as motivation,
Yeah.
then writes himself another challenge in his room, like daring himself not to lose. Scores 20 in the first half of the final.
The Spanish coach said, put him in jail. He's that good.
Yep. And the descriptions of him then breathes God, not oxygen, incredible hang time.
Almost mythical. Like he floated, he wins the gold, puts it in a safe. Combination 85 kicks.
Named after a sponsor. But here's the funny part. Years later, he moves, totally forgets the combination.
Yeah.
Tries everything, birthday, numbers. Gets it on the 10th try. Said it wasn't gold anymore, but it didn't matter. The meaning was personal.
Love that. Okay, Olympics done. 1984 NBA draft. He goes third.
Third pick. Rockets took Olajuwon, Blazers took Bowie.
So he arrives in Chicago. Kind of lost.
Yeah.
Like a country boy.
Yeah, no one met him at the airport. That's when he meets George Cole, the limo driver.
The beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Exactly. Cole offers him a ride. Michael's initially cautious about paying, but they click. Cole becomes like family, his agent eventually. 30 years.
Amazing connection from a chance meeting. But then a pretty jarring intro to the league. The cocaine room.
Yeah, preseason game, Peoria, Illinois. Stumbles on veteran players using drugs.
He didn't know the password to get in.
Right. Peeps in, sees what's happening, towels under the door. He observes, tells them put the towels back, and leaves.
And makes a decision right there.
Instantly. If you stay in there, you won't become Michael. Sets that boundary from day one. Hyper-competitive, saw vets maybe just playing for money on a losing team. He was different.
Focused. Then the '85 All-Star game. The freeze-out.
He's the Nike guy, the new flashy rookie, seen as too modern. Isaiah Thomas, other vets. They conspire not to pass him the ball.
Did he realize it during the game?
Didn't believe it at first. Drove back to Chicago, watched the tape. His agent confirmed it. Boycott was real.
His response.
Immediate. Fierce. Next game is against Isaiah's Pistons. Michael drops 49 points on them.
Wow. Message sent.
Oh, yeah. Wrote Isaiah Thomas in his notebook, circled 4 times, never forgot. That slight directly influenced Thomas being left off the '92 Dream Team. Michael held grudges.
Clearly made them pay.
Yeah.
And what about this above-the-rim clause in his contract? Sounds unusual.
Very unique for the time. Let him play exhibition games worldwide, separate from the Bulls. Showed his global impact early on. He came to Italy, gave an interview at the airport.
And people just noticed him. Even then.
Accounts say he had this incredible energy. People just turn and look. He was growing physically, culturally, becoming this force.
The force indeed. Okay, so he's a star, but the Bulls aren't winning titles yet.
Right. That's the next hurdle. Individual brilliance isn't enough.
He scores 63 against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Bird says, I saw God playing. But they still lose in the playoffs.
Exactly. He felt his teammates lacked that. That wickedness, he called it. That precision, that obsessive desire to win like he had.
They didn't participate in his nature.
That's how it's described.
Yeah.
He was this competitive bulimic, just an insatiable hunger for victory, but he did settle some personal scores. Like the dunk contest.
Oh, yeah. He lost the first one, right? He was determined to win it in Chicago.
Absolutely. At the old Chicago Stadium, knew he needed something epic. Heard Dr. J talk about dunking from the free throw line.
He'd done it before, but needed a perfect score this time.
Needed 50s across the board to beat Dominique Wilkins, and he flies from the line.
The descriptions are amazing. Walks in space, Skywalker.
Like he takes another step in midair. He later said he felt he could jump from even further back. Superhuman stuff.
It cemented his status, right? Greatest dunker. Sent a message to Wilkins, too.
Dominic, I am the greatest. Pure competitive fire.
But still no championship. They need something more, someone more. Enter Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. Fascinating background. Son of ministers, strict upbringing, rebelled, became a Buddhist, huge mental clarity, quiet strength.
And he understood Michael's gambling.
Yeah.
Gave him a book on betting.
Tried to understand its roots, yeah. But more importantly, he was like a Zen master to Michael. Pose that koan. How do I find myself?
And Michael's answer.
First, I must get lost. The perfect Zen reply. Jackson knew Michael needed to go somewhere uncomfortable.
Which was the triangle offense.
Exactly. System based on ball movement, reading the defense, everyone touching the ball, opposite of Michael's ISO-heavy style.
And Michael resisted at first. I'll only score 30 points.
Famously. Jackson's reply, Michael, that's not the problem. We have to win.
And they did. 1991 finally beat the Lakers. First championship.
Huge liberation for Michael. He'd been called destructive. That book, The Jordan Rules, painted him negatively.
Right. Claimed he didn't like his teammates.
Winning freed him. Then the famous shrug in the '92 finals against Drexler after hitting all those threes, like, yeah, I'm that good.
First three-peat follows. But alongside the dominance, the gambling issue becomes very public.
Yeah, accounts are direct. Compulsive gambler, betting on cards on the plane for hundreds, challenging rookies, betting $250,000 on a golf hole.
The Janet Jackson bet.
Claimed he could get her on the phone, won the bet. It was everywhere.
And embarrassing for the NBA. Reports of him losing to shady characters.
Yeah, humiliating is the word used. It highlighted that need to compete, to conquer in absolutely everything.
And then tragedy strikes. His father.
James Jordan. Murdered on the highway in Carolina, shot by 2 men after he pulled over to rest. Saw the nice car, his championship rings.
Oh, horrific. James apparently said, oh no, I'm sorry, as it happened.
Just awful. The impact on Michael was immense. He was isolated at the funeral, but gave this powerful speech. Celebrate the life, not dwell on death.
And the tongue thing.
Yeah.
It came from his dad.
Directly. James stuck his tongue out when concentrating on household tasks, like fixing plumbing. Michael saw it, associated it with focus, and absorbed it.
Incredible, that direct link.
It was his connection. But with his father gone, the gambling scrutiny, Michael makes the shocking decision, retires from basketball.
Switches to baseball, his father's favorite sport.
Goes to the minor leagues, coach drives the bus kind of team, he hits his first home run, looks up to the sky, thinking of his dad.
Poignant. But he
Right.
couldn't dominate it like basketball.
Realized he could be good, solid, but not that guy. Not transcendent. The pressure built. Eventually, he came back.
And what a comeback. The physical transformation.
Unreal. Rents a huge villa, builds the Jordan Dome, this private gym, gets down to an impossible 4% body fat.
Nike runs that ad. Carved. Chiseled.
And Michael issues that challenge. Trust me. Doubt me. Disrespect me. Tell me I'm old. That's what I want. Provoke me.
He needed that fuel again. Yeah, disrespect. But that intensity sometimes caused friction, right? The Steve Kerr incident?
Yeah, practice got heated. Michael punched Kerr, gave him a black eye.
Ouch.
Kerr goes home, but hours later, Michael calls him, apologizes, says sometimes I can't control myself, but stay with me, get on my boat, I'll make you win.
Wow. That's intense vulnerability, then intense commitment.
And it worked. Forged this unbreakable bond, led right into the second three-peat.
With Dennis Rodman added to the mix, managed by Jackson's Zen approach, and the 72-win season.
Just a dominant force. And speaking of dominant performances, the 97 finals, the flu game.
Game 5, Utah. Series tied 2-2. He's in Park City.
Yeah.
Orders a pizza late at night.
And apparently only he ate it. Wakes up at 3 a.m. calling his trainer, I'm dying, vomiting, doubled over, thought he was poisoned.
And hours before the game, he can't even get out of bed.
Immobile, utterly drained, but insists he'll play. They practically carry him to the arena.
And scores 38 points. How?
He explained it later. In the hotel room hours before, sick as a dog, he imagined every sequence of the game, every possession, mentally took himself where his body couldn't go.
His philosophy. Fears are illusions, limits are illusions.
He proved it that night. It wasn't just a mantra. It was like mental architecture. That preemptive psychological victory again. How much is limit? How much is imagination?
Mind-blowing fortitude. And then, the perfect ending almost. The last shot. 1998 finals. Game 6. Utah again.
Final seconds, Bulls down 1. Michael steals it from Karl Malone.
Then the crossover on Brian Russell. The guy who told Michael in baseball he couldn't guard him.
The very same. Crosses him over so hard, Russell stumbles. Michael pulls up.
Unguardable shot. That little push-off maybe.
Subtle separation. Releases it. Holds the follow-through. Frozen in time. Swish.
Phil Jackson screams he was fantastic. Arena stunned silent.
It wasn't just a game winner. It became an icon of culture. Michael owning the moment, manifesting victory through sheer will.
So wrapping this deep dive up, we've seen the fragility, the rejections, the triumphs, the battles.
And it's so clear, isn't it? His greatness wasn't just the talent, though that was immense. It was this unique, painful blend. Early struggles turning disrespect into fuel.
That extreme competitiveness and everything.
Profound personal loss forcing him to pivot and just almost superhuman mental strength. He wasn't just a player. He was a force, driven by that inner fire ignited by slights.
His story really makes you question limits, doesn't it? If someone can mentally play a game while physically incapacitated, what limits do we really believe in?
Exactly. His journey shows dominance often comes not just from talent, but from relentlessly refusing to accept limits or slights.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. What slight in your own life, big or small, past or present, might actually be your greatest untapped fuel?